President Trump's refusal to concede the election is creating challenges for President-elect Joe Biden's transition to the White House. NBCNews.com political reporter Jane Timm has been looking into this. So, Jane, first of all, why does a delay in starting the transition process matter right now?
It matters because this is a huge undertaking. Companies that go through mergers and acquisitions spend years banging out the details of how to transition from one leadership to the other. Government, with its 4,000 political appointees and 4 million employees, including the military, gets like 2.5 months. It's a really huge undertaking, and it takes a lot of time. And a lot of people have talked and said, you know, Biden has been in government. He knows how this works. But it's not just him that has to transition. It's his entire team, many of people who will be new to the White House, just because it's been 4 years since he left. So to get up to speed in everything that's happening in government, in every agency in government, and in national security issues, that's pretty important. Now, critically, Biden's not getting the PDB, the Presidential Daily Briefing. It's basically everything the leader of the modern America needs to know. And there's one really key quote from a Biden transition official that I think gets at the importance of this issue and how it gets worse, this problem, every day. So let me read this. It says, each passing day, a lack of access to current classified operations or back channel conversations that are happening really put the American people's at risk, interest as it relates to their national security at risk, And the reason that people worry about this so much is that when the 9/11 Commission report went back and looked at everything that happened, they said that the delayed transition in 2000 made it harder for the new incoming administration, the Bush administration, to get up to speed in advance of a major terrorism attack. Every expert I said transitions are risky times, and we need the incoming team to be as up to speed as possible.
So, Jane, let's help our viewers understand, how does a presidential transition normally work?
So, you know, it's a lot of they do things called agency review. They do things called, which basically means you go into every agency and you try and figure out what's happened in the last 4 years, figure out what's happening, what decisions need to be made shortly after noon on January 20th. There's a lot of personnel and staffing. Those 4,000 political appointees I mentioned, they need to be identified, vetted, interviewed. Many of them will need security clearances. Those require FBI field background checks. There's just so much work that goes into this. It takes a lot of work. 2.5 months is a really short period of time.
And Jane, talk to us about what the Biden team has been doing as they wait for the Trump administration.
So from our conversations with the team, it sounds like they're doing, you know, about everything that they could. You know, that includes things like talking to outside stakeholders. So they can't get into the agencies that themselves, you know, the NSA, you know, all of these agencies that normally they'd send teams in to talk to current government officials. Currently, what they're doing is talking to the outside stakeholders. That means Congress, that means NGOs, that means former government experts that may have left office when Trump took office. There's a large group of people who did leave when President Trump was elected. Those people are still out there. They can be talked to. But it's not the up-to-date information they're getting. So they're kind of doing it backwards. Usually you go into government agencies, you talk to a bunch of people, and then you talk to the outside stakeholders, unions, NGOs, those kind of people. They're kind of reversing it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.